Alright, so this is gonna be my basic, like a tutorial on how to solo, dire Maul. You know, jump runs if you're trying to get your, trying to get money. I do use mining for this, and you could do it with herb gathering too. I don't have herb gathering, so when I solo, I just kind of avoid it. So for my spec, I use divine intellect, spectral focus, um, consecration. That's a real big deal, pretty necessary. Um, Healing light just helps you out for like errors. This you don't need it for this dungeon in particular. I just grab it because why not? Illumination is pretty good. So every time you crit, you know you get all your mana back. Improved wisdom gives you more mana back. You know when it ticks. Divine favor makes 100% crit chance for your next healing spell. You know, flash of light, holy shock, right? 5% crit gives you more crit whenever you're casting your holy spells. That's gonna help out with how fast we kill the bosses and whatever. Um, holy shock, really good. You can use it to heal yourself. However, I don't really use it for that here. I would rather use my divine favor if I'm in a pinch to heal myself with a fat holy light. Um, you know, you get all that mana back. We're talking like 500 mana, you know, max rank. Um, so I use this to DPS. However, it only has a 20-yard range. That's pretty important, you know, especially if you plan on not soloing it. If you have like two people and you want to hold the aggro, because the tree, the last boss, when he hits the tree form and he does a knockback to you, it actually is an aggro drop. So that's pretty important. You gotta watch out because this is only a 20-yard range. Um, we're going devotion aura. I don't really know what's the like if you would rather have this or this. I don't know. So we got Guardian's favor. Um, Not really a big thing. You know, I'm pretty sure Hand of Freedom doesn't really work against Daze, but we don't really need it. We got 3% hit. Not really needed for the run, but it does help out a little bit. Blessing of Kings, I use it because not for the run, just for like healing in like raids. You know, lot of tanks like Blessing of Kings, Warriors, all that trash. Improve Righteous Fury. Why did I go in Pure Righteous Fury? Great question. Improve Righteous Fury is really good if you want to keep the aggro when you're doing this with two people. Maybe you got a mage that's got some real good damage, but like you're trying to hold the aggro. This will stave off a lot of his aggro generation. Same thing for Warlocks. I've done this with Warlocks every once in a while. So that helps out. They got a lot of dot damage going out. You know, I prefer when I do these runs, at least with more than one person, I prefer having the aggro, you know, because I know how to do it really well. So that helps out. And we got 10% armor value. That's going to help out a little bit too. Mitigate as much damage as we can. So if you immediately start running, what I like to do, I'll use Blessing of Protection when I jump off over here. And then you could literally just dodge that mob because he's always going to be in the same spot when you get in here. So I'll bot myself, land, give myself wisdom. Just run. You know, I do have the minor speed increase. So if you don't have it, try to get it. It's not very expensive. We're talking like, assuming you get the mats, we're talking like 5 gold. And that might be even higher than what it actually is. You can find a book over here, around here somewhere. I've never even seen it spawn, but it does spawn there. You want to look over here for like the runners. You know, they can come over here. You got invisible demons right here. So what I like to do when I solo, I'll buff them with Crusader. And then I'll like freaking, you know, hit them with some holy spells. See what happens. Hopefully I can get some crits off. If anything, he does cast us poison. That does some decent damage. If you're a dwarf, you can use Stone Form to get rid of that. It gets rid of poisons and bleeds. However, for some reason, for the last boss, the wolf does have a bleed, but it won't get taken off. The Stone Form will not take it off, so that's really interesting. I don't know why that happens. So I guess it looks like a bleed, but technically it's not a bleed. I don't know how that works. So we do have a second demon. So right now I'm just gonna mana up, just in case I do pull him. And we're using wisdom here, just to help out with mana. You know, mana's a big deal in here. If you're gonna, especially if you're soloing it. You probably don't really need the mana wisdom buff if you plan on, you know, doing it with more than one person, because it's just gonna go a lot faster. So this boss right here, you can actually skip. It's pretty common knowledge. A lot of people know that. So as long as you stand here, you won't pull him, or at least you shouldn't. If you're a gnome, you can actually swim in here. So you know that's pretty. You gotta be careful about that. So I like to jump here to try to avoid the demons that come out, because you got two that can be in here. So most likely I dodged at least one. And maybe I can dodge the second, because he does go all the way to the top. Oh no, see, there he is. So I'm going to try to just like, I'm not even going to fight him. We're just chilling. So for this boss, we do have to kill him to talk to the tree guy, to open the door for the last boss. So we're going to be going Shadow Resistance Aura, because he has two casts that he does. One is a prison, and the other one is a Shadow Dot, kind of like Shadow Word Pain. So like, the prison is a big deal, because if that gets off, not only does it do a lot of damage to you, like it can potentially kill you in one cast, over the dot damage. It can actually it actually heals him too, so that's a big deal. The dot you could just dispel, but you know the reason why we're going Shadow Resistance Aura is because they're both shadow spells, and you know if you mess up, you know there's a decent chance that you're going to resist it. A lot of the Pally tier sets specifically also have Shadow Resistance, so that helps out too. But for the last boss, not going to help, because that's a lot of nature. So, you know, we're going to be using Divine Favor to crit Holy Shock, so, you know, kill this boss faster. So we got Divine Favor going on, Exorcism, because he's a demon, right? And, you know, if you look, when you stand over here, the boss starts running towards that rock. And you can keep kiting him just like this. And it's super simple, right? A lot of people make it look a lot more complicated than it is, like in other videos. But it turns out, all you gotta do is just stick with this line. And it makes it super easy. So I have this add-on that like shows my magic regen. So it turns out, at least for casters, whenever you use spells, you know, your regen slows, but it does start a timer. And after that timer ends, you'll start regenning your mana a little bit faster. I do so sometimes I won't cast on purpose just to restore my mana faster. And this stacks with wisdom too, so that's pretty nice. So that's basically the main reason why we're using wisdom here, and not something like Blessing of Kings to buff our damage. We're trying to keep as much mana as possible, just in case we got some errors. So the reason why I'm strafing after I cast like my first exorcism, even though, you know, I'm waiting for my Holy Shock to come up, is just in case he starts casting. I want to try to LOS him as much as I can, because you can LOS these casts on this broken pillar right here. So right here, I'm deciding to not cast on purpose. I want to, you know, save as much mana as I can. So right there, he's casting a sacrifice. As long as I LOS him in time, you know, you don't really have a big window. So like, let's say you're casting something like a frostball, or you know, maybe you're running out to hit him with a fire blast or something. Maybe you want to dot him up, you know, with immolate or something. You know, I would say it's better to interrupt your cast you know, make the fight a little bit longer. You know, you really want to avoid those prisons as much as you can, man. It's a big deal. The dot, not so much, you know, especially for mages, because you could just ice barrier it. You're not going to take a lot of damage, but why risk it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to mess up on purpose to show you how to fix this error. So watch this. I'm going to stay here, and he's going to go through the back. Okay, he's bugging out. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. All right. So, all right, he's bugging out. I guess I can't show it. He can basically run through the back, and then he'll come over here. As long as you go outside like this, he'll come back, and you know you could reset. You could reset the path again. Oh, that's funny. And we're basically gonna do this until we actually kill him. Sometimes I'll get like a really fast time, like, well, relatively speaking, like 5 minutes and like 50 seconds. I think that's my fastest by myself. But I usually average out like 6.5, maybe like 7. An interesting thing about Divine Favor too. It doesn't share global cooldown with the rest of your spells, right? So you can cast it like in between your exorcisms, even though your Holy Shock is on cooldown, so that you know this will save up your mana regen when when you need it most. Um, right now I'm pretty good at it with my mana, managing my mana, so I don't really worry about it too much. But when I first started doing this, I did worry about it a lot. Um, the add-on does help. I don't remember the name. It's I know for a fact it's definitely not hard to find. So right there, I messed up. But I resisted the spell because having all this shadow resistance on, it does help. However, if you're a paladin or even a mage, if you do get imprisoned, you can ice block and divine shield it. So there's a lot of ways that you can avoid it, and he won't get his healing off. But basically, I should have stopped what I was doing and immediately come back to the pillar, and I would have avoided it. So right now, I'm not really too worried about my mana. So I'm basically just trying to burn him right now. Like, I don't really care about my mana. But you see, when you're not worried about your mana, what happens? You burn through it like pretty fast. I'm already at 65. And Hammer of Wrath does cost a lot of mana. So, that's it. That's part of it too. And also, oh, another thing, when he's like really low health, he like starts to walk. So, that just makes it easier to kite him. You can get the bow from this. I know a lot of classes like having that bow. Pretty sure it has hit chance, if I remember right. Why won't my bag open? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, 1% hit. Has 3 agility. A lot of classes are looking for that bow, especially like ults and stuff. So you could technically sell it, I guess, but I'm not really worried about it. But sometimes I'll get like 3 or 4 bows in a row. It's pretty crazy. So I'm drinking mana here because you can get a demon to spawn. And I'll show a really cool trick. A lot of people don't know this. Actually, I didn't know this until like maybe a couple days ago. If you pull the demon or even the water boss by mistake, you can get on this platform, right? This rock, and jump on this pillar, and then you could reset the fight by standing up here. It will start to evade, just in case you mess up. I tried it once. I messed up and got killed. So in practice, it's probably harder than it looks. But you can evade guys like that. So I'm pretty good at figuring out like these angles. I kind of know when I'm gonna pull them or when I'm not. So like, a lot of people will run straight through the middle. You can do that. You know, I don't really have a lot of speed boosts, so like I kind of just run it. Because by the time I take the back corner, and I get to the door, he's still kind of opening it. So it's like you're not really losing time, and you got to worry about all these paths, all these pathing issues going on. Taking this path, it's pretty easy. Pretty rare I actually have to stop. Yeah, you see how he's like still at the door. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Usually I get there a little faster. So for this run, we got, let's see, probably 2 nodes, I'm guessing. Because I feel like I would have saw the second one by now. Or the third. Yeah, 2 nodes. Okay. So, like, minimum. So, like, okay. Oh, there's a 3. Look at that. Even better. So, minimum, there's always going to be 2 nodes. But each node, you'll be able to touch it twice. Right? So, that's pretty important. Because, we're farming for arcane crystals to make money. You could turn it to Arcanite bars, use it yourself, try to get your mount, all that beans. Almost missed that jump. So when you're farming for the crystals, you have roughly, actually no, it's not roughly, it's legit. So you have a 4% chance to get a crystal to drop every time you touch a node. So you're going to touch each node twice, and minimum there's 2 nodes. So that's a 16% chance minimum per run. But sometimes you can touch a node 3 or 4 times. So the percentage just gets higher. If you have 3 nodes and each one is only 2, well, now instead of 16, you have a 24% chance. So for this run, I already know I have at least a 24% chance before I actually even get in there. And that's assuming I don't get, my 3rd or my 4th per node. So I'm going Divine Favor, right? Exorcism into a Holy Shock immediately, right? He's casting one of the debuffs. I use Stone Form to get rid of it, right? Right now I'm kind of messing up the pathing, right? This is a mana drain, so you want to dispel that one too. Regardless of the one he casts, you definitely want to dispel both. The wolf right here, he has a bleed effect, and it's also a slow and does some decent damage. So I want to be very careful about that. We're going to be jumping on this platform back and forth like this. With the demon guy, we want to keep him as far away as possible because he does cast that, right? And it deals some decent damage. Sometimes when I'm doing it with with a mage or a warlock, I'll take damage on purpose. The reason for that is that, when you heal, it does stack with Righteous Fury because it's a holy spell. So you do generate more aggro from actually healing. Pretty interesting. This is the tree guy has a knockback. So that's an aggro drop. So you got to be very careful about that. So right here I messed up again. I'm going to be saving you know, my 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 divine favor for a fat heal, to give it that 100% crit chance. I'm also not too worried about my mana right now, so I'm just gonna cast a freaking flash of light. Oh, there we go, a crit. So lucky me. So I might not need the divine favor at all. So right now, I got nothing to cast because everything's on cooldown, right? So like all that, I'm getting all that free mana regen. So right now I'm gonna try to show how to do this correctly without getting the debuff. So like just keep him back there, and you're doing it right when he can't even start casting it because he's literally not in range, right? Now I'm gonna do some fat damage. Oh, yeah, we got 2 crits in a row. That's pretty nice. So right now he's at 77%. If you don't have something that shows the percentage of the boss, right, you're looking at the letter E in his name, right? That's when you know he's at 50%. So right now I'm going to be waiting to heal just in case. Yeah, he's going to hit me pretty hard here. So I'm at 40%. I'm going to fucking heal myself hard here. Well, I didn't crit, but it's still a nice heal. I'm basically almost full health. So right now I'm going to try to save up on my mana a bit. It's going to make the fight a little longer, but I really don't mind. Because, like, I would rather do this correctly than wipe. So if he does cast, I'm gonna do the Stone Aura. Actually, it didn't even go off right there because I credited it in time. So I kind of messed up by using my Stone Aura or my Stone Form. But hey, it's fine. No big deal. No particular reason why I'm using a specific aura. Just in case they melee attack me, I'm gonna take slightly less damage. So that helps a little bit. But pretty rare that I mess up like that. So right here is a great opportunity to get some nice mana regen. But, it kind of relies on you not messing up. But, when I started doing this, I messed up a lot, wiped a couple times here and there. But eventually, you're going to be able to figure it out, which is pretty nice. Make some serious profit doing this. One thing I never thought I could legit get to like 1k gold in Classic World of Warcraft. I never thought that could happen. I thought I would just like pay for my mount and then just not even worry about gold. But yeah, pretty easy to make money when you could do this. So I'm not casting Exorcism here. It's just to restore more mana for the next part, because I just need to get him to 50%. That's it. Oh, I thought I got it right there. So soon, we're actually going to be moving our position here. I'm going to kite him for a sec. Try to not get that debuff. Oh, perfect. Okay. So soon, we're going to be able to move. So right now he's at 51. I'll be checking over here. Okay, so the demons did not spawn. So we probably need one more hit, assuming I don't miss. So right now they definitely are spawning, right? I'm gonna use Divine Shield and take a speed potion. I'm using Divine Shield, so I'm immune to all attacks. It's crazy. I didn't even get hit there. That's pretty crazy. So that just means I had really good timing. So that's why you're using Divine Shield. It also lasts longer than Bop, right? By, let's see. Bop lasts 10 seconds. Divine Shield lasts 12, 2 seconds. In a situation like that, it is a big deal. You want those extra seconds just in case you mess up. You can get stuck right here. So, it would be nice to avoid that. The reason why we're going to this platform, excuse me, sorry. Reason why we're going to this platform is to reset the boss fight, but you're going to stay in combat with these demons. And if you time it right, you can actually drink a potion here, but we're not worried about that. I mean a potion. Water here. But we're not worried about that because we got, Greater Blessing Wisdom. As long as you have enough mana, to kill these guys, you're good. Reason why we're doing that is because these demons have such a big aggro radius that they'll pull the plants in the back over here. Especially, that's the one you're worried about. The red Fellash, because they're casters. If they have LOS on you, it's going to be very difficult to reset the fight. Very unlikely. So you're probably going to die. The reason why a lot of classes can't do this, at least not this method, is because they literally can't kill these guys fast enough to reset the fight. So for mages, you got Cone of Cold, Arcane Explosion, Ice Nova to get that shatter going on. Some mages do this pretty well. But if you're a paladin, you have one really good AoE spell. Well, two, technically. We got Consecration, and we got Divine Wrath right here. They're all demons, so Divine Wrath affects them. So the first thing I'm going to do is to make sure I get this cast off. I'm going to bot myself, cast my Consecrate max rank, and then do an immediate Holy Wrath. Now, they're all dead. So I'm still in combat. That means the Flame Lash are like looking at me. The boss is not. The boss is not in combat. So you shouldn't even be worried about the boss. The only ones you're worried about are the Flame Lash guys. Right? Once you leave combat, you're all set. Oh, you can see I have 117 wipes on this difficulty. So right here, we got a pretty good chance to get an Arcane Crystal, but maybe you won't. And that's okay, because you could just do another run. So, me, this is definitely a slow time for me. I usually can do this faster. Not by much, though. So right here, we only touched it twice. So that's, a 16, no. That's an 8%, right? This one's going to be at least 2. Okay, so we got 3, so that's 20% right there. 24. Oh, and I forgot. One of the reasons why I was able to move so fast, I'm drinking a swiftness potion. If you actually look on the auction house, they're pretty expensive. Which is funny because they don't really require much to make. Yeah. A lot of PvPers will buy them. And people that are doing this, or stuff like this. Oh, there we go. We got an Arcane Crystal. So right now, actually, as of me making this video, what is going on with my bags? Why won't it open? Weird. These are selling really good. It says on my add-on that's selling at like 64 gold. That's incorrect. Right now it's selling at like 90. And a couple of days ago it was at 85. So the price is actually going up. That's pretty crazy. So if you're willing to level up your mining, if you're willing to, do this, you could make some serious profit. I paid for my mount. I did all the quests. I got the Arcane Crystals myself. Right? I helped another Paladin do this in a different guild. He's one of my friends. Outside of WoW. He needed like 2, and I just did them for him. We did it together actually. He got his mount like the very next day. And then, I got Aurel's mount. So that was like another 900 gold. So, but I think I chipped in like 600 of the 900. So, this is pretty good. You can make a lot of money doing this. And sometimes you could find people on on trade chat, looking for these crystals for like 85 gold, which is actually a pretty good deal when considering 85 gold is pretty decent. Try to turn them into an Arcanite bar. You can make even more money that way. We're talking 100 to like, I've seen it as high as to like 110. I've never seen 120, but I have seen people buy it for that much. I've never sold it that high. Um, you know, so I got my Arcane Crystal. That's one. I did like 4 runs so far, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That took me less than half an hour, so it's not like that this takes too long. I would say it's definitely worth your time if you're looking to get gold. If you need to like do something with that gold, pay for potions. Maybe you don't have a mage to do a specific farm. I don't play mages. I literally, this is the only tune I have. It's the only character I like. So, this is good for me. Um, so that's it. If you have any questions, ask, whisper me. If you're looking to do this with me, maybe you want to get some herbs, grab this bow or whatever. What the heck is up with this bag? Okay. What the heck? Um, Maybe you want this bow. Maybe, you want to disenchant some of this stuff. I don't know how much this goes for, like disenchanting wise. Maybe you want to save up some disenchants for like the next raid tier. I don't know. Um, but yeah, this could make you some serious dough if you love up mining and you're willing to solo it. All right, have a good one, guys.